Hello, everybody. Welcome back. Last time you were with us, we were at the end of the first season since we left to find out what had been going on at Tottenham and were they still hot Spurs. We will move on from that first year because they ended up sixth in the table and had a lot of work to do despite us winning the Super Cup and the Community Shield at the start of that season. Let's see how they progress, because this episode we are going to move through the next 5 years to the end of season 2030 and find out whether they've actually won any more silverware to put into that cabinet. Welcome. We made Tottenham Hotspurs again. And welcome to episode 63 of We Made Tottenham Hotspurs Again, or Making Tottenham Hotspurs Again. My name's Mark, and on today's episode we go back, we go forward 5 years to the end of season 29-30 to see how Tottenham have got on. Yesterday, of course, we had a look 1 year on, but we're going to go a further 4 years on to see how they have got on since we left them. And then on our next episode, we will come back and have a look and see how they are doing 10 years on from when we left. But today, we'll just take that first step. Let's have a look then and see how Tottenham have done since we were with them. Of course, we ended up in the summer of 24, so it's actually 6 years on. As it is. There we go. Looking at the start of this season, what we're going to do is we're going to go to the Premier League. And first things that we notice, this is the Premier League as it is today. We will notice that Manchester City have won the Premier League in all 6 seasons. I think we'd already seen that they'd done this because that was the first punt. Since then, they've won it a further 5 times since we've left and run away with the Premier League. Let's have a closer look then. If we go back, that was the season we finished, was 24. The first season after that, and we pick it up from here. So in the last episode, we saw that we finished 6th in the Premier League, and then we moved to 4th. Manchester City 99 points from that season, losing once to Tottenham, believe it or not. In the next season 26-27, we finished 3rd, which wasn't bad. Champions League spot in where did we finish? Champions League spot in 26-27, 27-28, just outside. Finished 5th, and 28-29 finished 6th, so dropping away a little bit. And then last season we finished back up into 4th place, back into a Champions League place. But as I said, Manchester City. So if we go back to that season, Manchester City, Arsenal, Manchester United, Manchester City, Liverpool, Chelsea, Manchester City, Manchester United, and ourselves, Tottenham, Manchester City, Chelsea, Manchester United, and Manchester City, Manchester United, Chelsea. So it's the same revolving 5 or 6 players. What is interesting is Liverpool have finished 5th last season, 6th, 4th, 2nd, 5th, and I think that was the season we won it. They finished 3rd. So they've been on a similar sort of run to us, albeit what is interesting is Manchester City slowly over the years getting worse points wise. So they are slightly coming down, or everybody else is catching them, one or the two. But obviously there was a number of seasons there where the chasm was great. For instance, that one, 93 to 78, 15 points. 94 to 86. That's not so bad, only 8 points. Now, that one was 22 points difference there between. So that is a heck of a chasm. 5 points there, so not so big. But yeah, it's coming back the other way a little bit now. So when we get into next season, it should be rather interesting to see how it gets on. Right. Let's have a quick look and see, if we can, what trophies we've won. Can we see history? Competitions. Here we go. So we're looking at anything from 24, really. Anything we've won. Third place in the Premier League in 27. The Europa League we won in 2026, which I think we knew because had we looked at that? Well, they won it in 2026, so we won it in 2024. Won it in 26, won it in 37, won it twice more since. Won the UEFA Super Cup, which we won in 24. We won in 26. The Emirates FA Cup, we won in 24. That was the year that we were with them. Runners up in the Carabao Cup in 2026. Not won the Community Shield again. Papa John's Trophy we won in 2024. 23 and 24 come to that. The Premier League Cup we won in 2025. FA Youth Cup in 2029. Premier League 2 Division 1. This is for the reserves in 2026. And the Under-18s Premier League in 25 and 26. We were third place in the Premier League, second League 2 Division 1 in 27 and 28. So been consistently, the youth have been doing quite well from what we see there. Pep Guardiola is still in charge, 5 years and 60 days now in charge. 3 cup wins in that time, the Europa League twice, and the UEFA Super Cup in 2026, of course. So his win ratio, they've won 61% of the games. That's 177 games won, 49 drawn, 64 lost in that time. What else can we glean from this? The best 11 is worth a look in a moment. The records. Most points in the season, 96. Looking for recent. They may. I'm not sure whether these stats are only up to and including where we left office. I'm not sure if that's how it works or whether it actually continues to. No, I think it might add up to them. It'd be interesting to see in FM23. They're talking about bringing this more up to date and doing some stuff with it. Let's have a look at the best 11 as it stands. A historical best 11. Castile's in goal. Hernandez, Sewell, Upamecano, Zappa, Diakite, Illich, Masulia, Son, Rizzo, and Kane. So, of the best 11, Kane, Son, Masulia, Hernandez, Sewell, Upamecano, and Castiles from the old side that we remember. And actually, we can see the team, the best 11 from seasons gone. So when we finished, that was how it looked. Abraham, Son, Masulia, Koeman, Hernandez. Castiles, Hernandez, Sewell, Upamecano, Emerson, Rowe, Holzberg, Lo Celso, Son, Mazulia, Koeman and Abraham. And then obviously on suing, they changed formation slightly, playing a 5-2-1-2 once we'd moved out. Romero coming in there. Reguilón taking over from Hernandez. And it's good to see Devine in the best 11 as well. Season 25-26, Matthias Nunes, Ilic, Diakite, Hernandez back in there, Harry Maguire. These are all, probably should have looked at the transfers. In fact, let's do that first. Go back to the transfers. So, transfer history, if we can look back. Can we go back to season 23-24? This was the last season that we were in charge. And as you'll see, that is pretty much where we left off. Following season, Luigi Chiellini, 17 million in from Lazio, a goalkeeper, 35-year-old goalkeeper. I don't know if that's what he is now. Ilic, Hellas Verona, Ivan Ilic in a midfield player. Matthias Nunes can play in midfield or can play up front. I can see he's already moved on. Harry Maguire, he's unemployed. He's now a coach, so he's retired. Paid Manchester United 15 million for him. Lots of players going out. Craig Hill, Harry Winks, who I'm guessing has retired. Can't see any history for him. Excuse me, I've got a tickle. Andre Silva, Dante Casanova, Ryan Sessegnon, Jareel Davis, Troy Parrott, Thomas Quirtang, Dane Scarlett. Wow, these are loans, actually, we've got here. We got the overall then, haven't we? All transfers. Yeah. Scarlett out on loan. Taganga going out for 13 million to Leicester. Han Noah Masengo, 1.1 million to Ream. Bogotsky to Sheffield Wednesday on loan. Brian Waugh, 150k. And Davidson Sanchez to Brighton for 16 million. So 97 million out. 68 million in a slight deficit there in 24-25. 25-26. Luis Maximano, a goalkeeper, came in from Everton. He's at Everton. From Halal, KSA. Danilson Fortes from Troy. He is a central midfielder. Jordi Schutten from Bologna. Midfielder centre came in. Gabriel Zappa. He's a right back. Diakite, deep lying central midfielder. Calaflore, a left back. And Gaston Rizzo can play out on the right, but can also play in centre midfield as well. Going out, Dembele, we sold for a free to Sampdoria. Oliver Skip to Wolfsburg. Steven Bergwijn. So we let 3 players go for nothing there. Steven Bergwijn to Inter for free. Kufer going out on loan. Pierluigi Chiellini, brought him in last season, sold him this season for 15.5 million. Harvey White going to Fulham for 2.5. Brian Gill eventually leaving on 8.5 to Stuttgart. Sergio Reguilón going to Barcelona for 45 million. That's good business. Hassan going to Bradford City on loan. Joachim Mahil going to Lazio for £27.5 million. Did we make a profit, or did they make a profit on him? Yes, because we bought him in for 25, so a slight profit on that one. Craig Hill going to Rochdale on loan. Kaiser going to Sheffield United under 18s for 180k. Ben Hayes, who we bought in for nothing, has gone out for nothing to Chelmsford City. And John Cass going to Ipswich Town under 18s on a freebie. £99 million brought in. 109 million spent out. That's a deficit of 10 million. That's pretty good business. in that season, 25-26. 26-27, only Ronald Vieira coming in. He's another central midfielder. As you can see, we've sold him on already by the looks of it. 22 million. Remember 22 million, because we might need to remember that in a minute. Aaron Davis has gone to Burnley on a freebie. Lo Celso to River Plate for 26 million. Randy Opoku to Crystal Palace under 18s for 425,000. Hassan to Coventry on loan. Harana has gone to Aston Villa for 350k. Latula has gone to Toulouse for 600k. Been wanting to get away. He's finally made it. Matassar gone to AZ on loan. Alfie Dorrington gone to Brighton for 4.6 million. And Dele Alli's gone to Leeds for 26.5 million. 59 million coming in. 22 million going out. That's balanced the book slightly. Maybe that's what needed to be done in 26-27. Similar again in 27-28. Only one player coming in, Buskanen. Buskanen is a Chilean central midfielder. Can also play out on the right-hand side. Can also play at left back. So he's coming from Colo Colo in Chile for 1.6 million. That's all we spent. Dane Scarlett's been sold to Southampton for 21.5 million. Jurdy Shooten, who we brought in a couple of seasons, has gone out on loan to Valencia. Donnelly, 725,000 to Toulouse. Hassan eventually sold after being out on loans for 11.75 million. Emerson Royal going to RP Leipzig for 38 million. That's not a bad deal. Dennis Wellington, Burnley under 18s for 400k. Will go up to 575 with add-ons. Matty Richards going to Burnley for 120k. And Anderson Ario going to Canvey Island on a free. Total coming in 72 million again. Possibly trying to balance the books somewhat. Season 28-29, Sandro Tonali, another midfielder. Pep Guardiola loves his midfielders, doesn't he? Coming from Milan for a huge sum of £101 million. Callum Hudson-Odoi from Newcastle for 68 million. Look at this, 204 million spent. Otavio comes in from Porto on a freebie. Dorico from San Lorenzo. He's a striker. Otavio, midfielder and attacking midfield. Callum Odoi. He can play attacking and wide midfield. We already checked that he was a midfielder. Jaffa, come from Bayern Munich for 17.25 million. He's a goalkeeper, 24-year-old German. Raheem Sterling. Good old Raheem. He is £13.25 million worth from Manchester City. So going out. Shooten has gone to Norwich for a freebie. Jamel Mazulia has gone to Paris Saint-Germain for 139 million. So he's eventually left. We brought him in for 84 million. So that's a profit of 55 million by my calculations. Holzberg going to Lazio for 9. Connor Wilkins to Crystal Palace under 18s, 575 million. Kingsley Coman, he's gone to Monaco on loan. Vieira has gone to Milan on loan, having brought him in previous season, or a couple of seasons back now. Obviously, been around and decided that he would go out. Kufa gone to Toulouse for 650,000. Milson has gone to Nottingham Forest under 18s for 350k. Dady has gone to Barnsley on loan. Rob Edwards to Coventry on loan. Scarlett has gone to Luton on loan. Rashid Boyce, Bromley for a free. Rush gone to Buxton under 18s on a free. And Mateus Nunes has gone to Newcastle for £35.5 million. When did he come in? There he is. Sold him for a slight profit then. On the basis that 32.5 million from Sporting Lisbon. And we've sold him on. There he is, 35. So we made a small profit on him. And then finally this season, Denzel Dumfries. In from Inter on a freebie. Dumfries, he's a right back. Mediocre, he's can play in those either attacking or central midfield roles, so he looks quite good, coming in from Wolves for 37.5 million. Florentino Luis from Benfica for 40 million. Livakovic, Dominic Livakovic, a Croatian goalkeeper. I can only think he's back up, 26 million. Bursic, also a goalkeeper from, he's English, but Bursic from Stoke for 3.5 million. And Arregio from Crystal Palace for 17 million. 124 going out, 69 only coming in. Maximano, we've sold. He was goalkeeper, 25.5 with add-ons. Ronaldo Vieira eventually going to Milan for 10.75. Calafiori going to Watford for 15.25. Addison going to Atletico Paranaense for a freebie. That's where he came from. He's gone back. So we paid them for him, had him for a couple of seasons, actually didn't play for us, and has gone back to them. Tammy Abrahams eventually left. He's gone to RB Leipzig, 16.5 million. Dady out on loan to Feyenoord. Koba out on loan to Warsaw. Samuel Edmonds out on loan to Sunderland. Jaffa, who we've only just brought in last season. Yeah, bought him for 17.25 million. We've sold him on for 4.7 million. That was bad business, wasn't it? Otavio's gone to Cerulia for 875 million. And Liam Clark and James Sayer going out on loans to Derby and Reading, respectively. That is how the transfers look. In fact, we've got a couple more gone out so far. Nicholas Saul has gone to Eintracht Frankfurt on a free, and Liam Clark has been sold to Everton for £675,000. Right, well, that is how it's all happened. Not a great deal else. Let's have a look at the new schedule for this year. We're going to kick off the season with a Super Cup game against Manchester United, followed by West Brom in the Premier League. And then Christmas, Boxing Day is an away match to Brentford. And we finish up the season at Arsenal and Nottingham Forest. That's how that looks. Yeah, we haven't really done a great deal in other cups, have we? Interestingly, let's just have a quick ramble down through the seasons. So this was the season when we left because we won the Community Shield and the Super Cup and then walked away. FA Cup quarter-final, EFL Cup, knocked out in the third round by Southampton. Didn't get out of the group stage of the Champions League on that season. We can't see it now because it's moved on. We didn't get out of the group stage there, obviously, which was pretty poor. The following season, played in the FIFA Club World Cup, ended up fourth, losing on penalties in the fourth place playoff to Saint-Germain, Paris Saint-Germain. EFL Cup fourth round, Europa League Group H, EFL quarter-final, EFL semi-final. This is looking promising. EFL Cup final, losing 3-0 to Manchester City. So that was a good run. Knocked out in the quarterfinals by Manchester United of the FA Cup. And then we had second knockout round of the Europa League. Quarter-final against Alves. Beat them there. Knocked out in the semi-final. No, we got through to the final. Beat Liverpool in the final of the Europa League. That must have been the season that we won that, 26. Following season, we won the UEFA Super Cup against Inter. Champions League this season, of course. EFL quarter-final. EFL semi-final. Knocked out in the semi-final by Manchester City. Did we say we got through to the final last on the previous one? Or did we get out in the semi-final? No, we got knocked out in the final, didn't we? So Manchester City knocked us out in the final one year, semi-final the following year. Oh, woe is me. Quarter-final of the FA Cup. No, semi-final of the FA Cup. In fact, we must have got through the final. Again, it was that team, Manchester City. We didn't get beyond the first knockout round of the Champions League, though. We were knocked out by Inter, who we beat in the Super Cup. That's divine retribution, if I ever thought it. Champions League Group D the following year. So again, in the group stages, quarter final of the EFL semi-final. We were knocked out by West Ham in the semi-final of the EFL Cup on penalties, would you believe? And the fifth round of the FA Cup, again on penalties, this time by Fulham. We got to the quarterfinals of the Champions League that season, and who was it who knocked us out? Manchester City. Of course, they seem to be doing the business on us every single time. 28-29, Europa group, back into the Europa League, I see. EFL quarterfinal, knocked out in the quarterfinal by Southampton 4-2, and we were knocked out in the third round of the FA Cup on penalties to West Ham after 2-2 draws. 2-2 draws. That's better. I had to think about that for a minute. Europa League second go, knocked out in the quarterfinals by Liverpool this time. Looks like it was 3-2 on aggregate. And that was the story of the season. And the season just gone. Europa League Group G. Knocked out in the EFL Cup third round by Aston Villa on penalties again. That's so frustrating. Didn't get out of the group. Oh, yes, we did. I'm telling lies. FA Cup fourth round got knocked out by Chelsea by 2-1. Played them in the Premier League the following week and lost 2-1 again. Europa League second knockout round. Here we go through to the final. We beat Liverpool in the final again. It was almost like a repeat of that. And that man, Raheem Sterling, getting the 2 goals in the Europa League final. So we got all the way through to the Europa League final. And that was after getting out of the group stage, beating Shakhtar on aggregate 4-0. Marseille beating them 6-1 on aggregate. And then we played Aston Villa in the semi-final, beating them 3-2 on aggregate, just sneaking through there, and then meeting Liverpool in the final at the Aviva Stadium in Dublin. So there you go. That's how the seasons have gone and passed, and a quick update to see how we have got on in our time. What we will do very quickly is just have a quick look at the season coming then, because we'll go forward another 5 years and we're going to go through to 2020. Go through to 2035 will be our next stop. And they're expecting us to finish 5th in the next season. So the season preview is for 5th. And in the Media Dream 11, Hernandez and Upamecano are in that Media Dream 11. So looking quite promising, if I should say so myself. Well, we'll see if Pep's still there in 5 years' time. If they've managed to win any more Premier Leagues, they've got to wrestle Manchester City off the top if they are to win the Premier League, of course. And who knows how that goes on. And can they add any more silverware to the trophy cabinet? It looks like they're struggling somewhat. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. If you have, don't forget to leave me that big thumbs up, subscribe, and hit the notification button. That will keep you up to date with all future episodes of this and new series as they are released. New episodes of We Made Tottenham Hotspurs again. Well, there is only one more. It is the next episode, and it will be out on Tuesday. More about that in a moment at 4:15. If you want to keep up to date what's happening on this channel and more, you need to follow me on Twitter at JustOffsideFM. Of course, that will also give you a nod when we get there as to who we are going to manage in the beta save on FM23 when it's out. And when you see this video, we will just over a week away when we have the next episode. I'm thinking probably about a week away from FM23. Getting quite excited now. Thank you for watching. Hope to see you for the next episode. It'll be episode 64. It is out on Tuesday, and it will be the final episode of We Made Tottenham Hotspurs Again, or Making Tottenham Hotspurs Again. Till then, it's a very goodbye.